All right, on to the fourth world. On we go. Here we go. White wafers. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming this. I just still want to have some time to, you know, cut this up into parts today and publish it over on YouTube and stuff. I don't know, but if there's only 5 worlds, maybe we could just beat the main game today and then do, like, Megalore Epilogue next time. But yeah, let's see here. Some people are very over-dramatic about things that don't matter, aren't they? Yep. Anytime anybody wants to see, like, people getting really, really mad over things that don't matter, just read up, like, just scroll through the comments of my Pokemon essays. and you'll find stuff in no time. It really doesn't take long. What the heck did I just get hit by there? Now the water world is over because those levels suck ass. We're getting to some cooler levels here in multiple ways, you could say. But yeah, so there's a there's that dedicated discussion there. Oh yeah, let's showcase more of the new ability, I guess. Come on, up we go. Pew pew. Many pews. A great many pews there. All right, bats, get on out of here, bats. Let's yoink. All the things to munch. But yeah, we'll see where things end up going for, like, video essays around the channel. You know, like I was saying earlier, I do want to, you know, have more that do, you know, spread positivity and, you know, important lessons and stuff like that. Because I do want to use things as a force for good where I can. But, you know, I know that there'll definitely be some that do hate me for it, is the case. What? Come on, get on out of here. But yeah, how do we make visual for a remake? Developers, crank the bloom! Crank it up! Yeah, this is a very charming, nice looking game, I do have to say. And like I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to playing Metroid Prime later tonight, because from what I've seen, that game looks really nice as well. But yeah, don't share your Pokemon opinions on the broader internet because you still want to live. Yeah, that, I understand that feel. Like, the most sketched out I've ever been about publishing a video essay has been, like, my very first initial Pokemon essay that was titled How Pokemon Lost Its Magic, which a lot of people look at, like, the title and thumbnail of and just immediately go to the comments of without, you know, watching any of the video just to tell me how dumb I am. You know, there's a lot of old comments I have saved about that. Where is my, I think it was on that video that I got, like, my favorite comment of all time, that one with broken English that I've read out a few times. I don't remember if I have that one saved. I should have it saved, though, because that one was so funny. I love that one. If anyone remembers that one. Because I know I've read it out a few times. Well, I guess we're going this way. That's what we're doing. Told the story of the time you got more or less cyber-stalked for liking Modern Fire Emblem, right? Maybe? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not quite sure if it rings a bell or not. But yeah, I've had some crazy things happen to me for the Pokemon situation. I still think the craziest was when that one group of kids tried to cancel me on Twitter on Christmas Day because of my because of what I said about Pokemon. You know, that was certainly something there. Oh dang, I'm trying to time it here. Trying to time that. You know, there's all kinds of situations in the gaming industry where it's like, oh gosh dang it, and there's a secret way up, isn't there? Where either for, you know, opinions on games that people will hate you for, sometimes even the way that you play a game. That was a big thing that we saw come up when Elden Ring released. And there was like the whole internet battlegrounds of people being like, oh man, you're not playing it like armorless, weaponless, no level ups like all the try-hard ways that I play? Man, I guess that means you suck. You're just a filthy casual, you know? Stuff like that. Like, man, the release of Elden Ring and people going to internet warfare over the way that people played the video game in their own way. Man, that was a situation there, wasn't it? What a wacky world we live in. Luckily, something like that would never happen with a game like Kirby, I don't think. Is the case. Luckily, I don't need to worry about that. I never saw a massive ton with like my Elden Ring playthrough there. You know, it's not like you know, I cover mostly Nintendo content on this channel. Most people don't know me for playing something like Elden Ring. It's one of my lesser known series is there. But I still got a fair share, like handful of comments of people being like, man, you're using soul ashes and your level's super high? Wow. Guess that means you suck. You know, is the case. But yeah, I remember first explaining that would happen to you. Yeah, that's the and it got pretty widespread around the interwebs with a lot of content creators, you know, getting probably not as harassed as creators are with the with this Harry Potter game, but you know, definitely enough that it is still noteworthy. There's a meme in the community at first that people took it too seriously. Yeah, sounds about right there. Barely say anything on the internet out of fear of being judged negatively. Yeah, it's fostered an environment like this where people are afraid to say, you know, the stuff that they believe in and they're passionate about, you know? Like, that was definitely the case for me with the first Pokemon essay there. We live in a world where people are normalized to threatening / doxing people over difference of opinions. Yeah, that... it's kind of a scary thing there. And sometimes I'll see people who, you know, do end up getting harassed over things like that and end up making posts where, you know, where they're like, man, I had to put up with all this harassment over this kind of thing. I don't know if I can deal with this anymore. And some people will treat that as you know, will take it as like a sarcastic response of like, what's this? The consequences of my actions? You faced people telling you that you're wrong? Like, oh my goodness, that's such an awful thing. I saw that happen with the whole Hogwarts game situation there, where I was reading up on various different articles on it out of curiosity for like what's going on with like people's streams who were streaming that game. And one site that I saw, I don't remember what the site actually was there, but one was this one that did end up talking about how a lot of people ended up having to, you know, take breaks from content creation over that game and were getting harassed over it. But this article took the stance of like, man, these people treat it like they're not allowed to hear opinions that disagree with them. They're so butthurt by people saying that they disagree that, you know, they need to say that they need to take breaks from things. Like, what snowflakes? It's like, no, that's not what's happening. They're getting harassed over these games. They're being treated like villains over it. It's not people just casually telling them, oh, yeah, I disagree with you over that. And then the content creators being like, oh, that hurt my feelings. I'm so sad. But a lot of people like to treat it like that. And, you know, as I was saying earlier, there's even some people that I've worked with on channel projects in the past that I've seen take that stance to people that have, you know, faced harassment for some matters with the mentality of, what's this? The consequences of my actions? You're not allowed to hear other opinions? It's like, no, that's not at all what they're saying. Don't treat it like that. Like, what kind of environment are we fostering out here where we have to be so afraid to say the things that we believe in, you know? You should be able to say the things that you believe in without getting villainized for it and treated like public enemy #1, you know? Is the case. Unless the things that you're saying are genuinely like things that are directly harming somebody. Like, if you're, you know, if you're harassing somebody, then I would not put that under the umbrella of like, you should feel free to voice your opinion, you know? Like, evidently stuff like that, where it's like, oh, I'm just voicing my opinion of you're dumb. It's like, you know, that's not quite the same umbrella, you know? That should be evident there. But, you know, boopity bop. Ow. Darn there. But yeah, let's see here. Even typing here in chat, is you going a little out of your comfort zone? Yeah, this was a topic that I was debating about. Like, should I even do a video essay on this? Should I even mention on stream that it's a thing that I'm thinking about doing? Because, you know, like I said, it's a topic that I'm a little bit sketched out about going into, but I feel like it's important to say and important to foster an environment of respect and, you know, being able to agree to disagree without making out one another to be villains and stuff like that. Something that a lot of people in the Pokemon community could learn from. I'm sure that, you know, it's probably just a very, like, my experience with the Pokemon community, for example, I'm sure it's a very, very small minority that gets as drastic as they do, as I've seen, like, in comments with that. But, you know, the problem with so many matters, like, whether it's, like, Pokemon, whether it be this Harry Potter game, is the vocal minority are usually so dang vocal that it becomes very easy to believe that this is what the majority of people believe, when it's not even the case a lot of the time. It's just that the vocal minority oftentimes, you know, no, whatever. I can put down bombs. It's kind of cool there. But there was a guy whose name you're not gonna reveal who would find any YouTube video you made or comment section you're a part of it would attack you for. Oh yeah, I do sort of remember this now. For your opinions, even made fun of your teeth, which you're super self-conscious about, all because you like Fire Emblem Awakening. That's so dumb. Like, to anybody that, you know, dedicates themselves to harassing anybody who they agree with or they disagree with over something like a video game. Like, what would I even say to people like that? You know, maybe grow up, maybe find something better to do, you know? Like, you know, there are some games that I really, really hate, like Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures, Roller Coaster Tycoon World, for example. Those, like, gross Atari games, for example. Like, I can say for sure that I hate games like that with a passion. But if somebody told me, like, man, I love Roller Coaster Tycoon World, it's such a fun and good game, I'd just be like, huh, it's kind of weird. Moving on. You know, I wouldn't dedicate myself to, you know, overpowering them, being like, yeah, I'm gonna harass you into submission. It's like, why would I do that? You know? Yeah, there was a lot of people that got kind of mad at me for Bravely Default 2, was definitely the case. I would point out, like, how that game really didn't promote strategizing. Because, you know, strategy in that game is like, oh, the boss inflicted blindness? Guess I gotta put on the blindness nullifying accessory. You know, whenever I talk about strategy in that game, I always like to compare it to, like, the toddler kind of games where you put, you know, the square into the square hole, the circle into the circle hole. That's strategizing in Bravely Default 2 in a nutshell. But the amount of people I had telling me that, like, no, you're just dumb, you just don't know how to strategize, you just clearly don't play enough strategy games. It's like, what are you talking about? Have you been around to see me play all the Fire Emblem games on the hardest difficulty that I have on this channel? You know, don't tell me I can't play strategy games. But yeah, I had a lot of people accuse me of just not knowing how to play strategy games. It's like, yep, that's probably the case, right? But yeah, let's see here. One of the most wisdom take on the internet. I don't know what that is there, or just like wise takes, I assume then, is no one deserves to be harassed and doxxed, but getting crucified online is something inevitable, and the only thing is how you choose to be crucified. Yeah, so I guess a wise take in that case. Yeah, that's probably a good way of putting it there, honestly. Okay, I probably want rock here. In that case, right? Game of Bravely Default 2 felt like a turn-based RPG tried to play like a Soulsborne game. No, I got this again! Yeah, it kind of tried to make itself unnecessarily difficult, but in really dumb ways where it's like, here's the one specific solution. Like the previous games would always promote you coming to your own solutions and being able to find your own way forward. Whereas Bravely Default 2 is like, yeah, here's the one solution in each of these specific scenarios we expect to use. We recently had a long discussion about Bravely Default 2 during Pokemon Coliseum, like just last week, I think, actually. We had a whole Bravely Default 2 discussion during Pokemon Coliseum, as happens around here sometimes. But, you know, if anyone tells me that, you know, they really like Bravely Default 2 and they really like the strategy of Bravely Default 2, fine. You know, whatever. That's your own opinion. You're free to like what you like. You're free to dislike whatever you don't like, and for your own reasons. You know, doesn't matter there. But if you tell me that I don't know how to play strategy games because I said I didn't like the strategy of Bravely Default 2, then screw off, you know? Oh, man. But yeah, I don't mind anybody liking the gameplay of that, perfectly entitled to that. Play whatever you want to play, enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. This was a discussion we had during the, this reminds me of the discussion that we had at the end of the Pokemon Platinum playthrough. Like, we had a whole discussion at the end of the Pokemon Platinum playthrough, because you know how I usually, whenever we beat a game, we typically do, like, our, like, wrap-up whole review during the credits and stuff, right? Well, during the Pokemon Platinum playthrough, I beat the game, and I was starting to do, like, the wrap-up discussion, and there was one person in the chat that was like, nope, you're wrong. You would lose that argument. Like, I say that things that I said that were apparently super controversial was the music was good. That Gen 4 music was good. While there's one person in the chat was like, nope, the Gen 4 music is like one of the worst. It's awful. Everyone hates it. And as I'm praising the music, they're just having a go at me in the chat while I'm trying to do my review. They're like, nope, you would lose that argument. It's like, can you chill out, maybe? You know? So, I had to time them out. Was the, yeah, same here. Like, Gen 4 music is some of the most highly praised in the series. But they were treating me like an absolute idiot that how could I possibly believe such a thing for doing that when I was trying to give my review at the end of the stream. So, you know, I timed them out at the time, and I had a talk with them afterwards being like, hey, it's okay to disagree here, but you know, don't be having a go at me while I'm trying to give my review at the end of a playthrough. And they were like, oh, I thought this was an environment where you're supposed to be like, you know, accepting of other people's views and stuff like that. You know, I didn't realize that somebody disagreeing with you was so offensive. Can't believe I ever came to the stream, and they never came to the stream again. Thankfully, was the case. But, you know, they ended up villainizing me for that. When I was just like, hey, I'm just trying to give my review, wrap up discussion. Can I just do that at the end here without being treated like an idiot for having these opinions? So, you know, in my final video of the Pokemon Platinum playthrough, that was originally going to be the final video, but I really didn't want the finale of my Pokemon Platinum playthrough to be me giving my review while there's like the only person talking in chat is this person having a go at me and treating me like I'm really dumb for having such a thingamabob. I was like, yeah, that's not really what I want up on my channel there. So I ended up deleting that. I think it still exists on Twitch. You can still find the original on Twitch is the case. But in terms of what went up on YouTube, I deleted, like, I didn't delete that. I didn't upload that part. And I just did like a dedicated hour-and-a-half discussion, and the name of that video, part 100 of the Platinum playthrough, was like, enjoy what you want to enjoy and thank you, was the way that I titled that. And it just became a whole dedicated discussion about like, hey, enjoy the games that you want to enjoy for your own reasons. I guess I don't have to suck the key. You know, if you like something for X reason, then fine, fair enough. If you don't like something for X reason, then fine, fair enough. You know, stuff like that. And it just became a whole dedicated discussion. But yeah, the original final part of of the Pokemon Platinum playthrough got the axe because the only person that was talking in chat at the time was someone that really didn't like me. That's one of the disadvantages of being like a small content creator, is if you're a big content creator and like the chat's flying by at lightning speed, if somebody's having a go at you, who cares? You're not gonna notice it. But if you're, you know, a small content creator like me, and there's only one person talking in chat at the time, and it's somebody that specifically is trying to throw you in the dirt, it's like, well, that's awkward, isn't it? That sure makes things kind of awkward and weird, huh? This is our first time using the ninja thingamabob there. But yeah, and let's just see here. But yeah, Jennifer has the best music in this series. Yeah, I guess I read that part. The dude was being like a colossal dick. Yeah, yeah. And when I was talking to them afterwards about it, like, hey, could you not do that? They treat it like it was completely different to like my whole mentality before that point. They were like, oh, I thought you were someone that was okay with other opinions. You know? I can't believe that, you know, you're being this two-faced way where you say that you're okay with other opinions, but you actually hate it when people disagree with you. Wow, guess I'm never coming to this live stream ever again. It's like, no, I don't mind disagreements. I mind you treating me like I'm a colossal idiot for not having the exact same opinion as you. You know, there's a difference here. So there's that. I mean, you never start just mindlessly insulting for not liking FromSoft RPG as much as you do. Yeah, and I mean, I do like them though. You know, I have my fair share of issues with them, but I do generally like them anyway. As much as you, and we had good discussion and learn from each other. Yeah, like we had respectful discussions about it. You would voice, you know, the reasons why you like it as much as you do. I'd be like, yeah, these are the things that hold it back from me. And we might not fully agree on everything, but hey, we got to one. But we have respectful discussions over it, and it's like, not everyone is gonna think the exact same thing. Isn't that what's great about people, is that we don't all have the exact same opinions on things? How boring would the world be if everyone thought the exact same thing about everything that there exists to have an opinion on? Like, the world would be so boring. We'd all just exist as clones as one another. Like, I'm of the stark opinion that, you know, that differences are to be celebrated, not shunned, you know? That's what makes the world interesting, you know? Like, my goodness gracious. Isn't difference awesome? Ro's evil because he thinks Pokemon is a game? That isn't a game, it's a way of life. Yeah, that you right there. I just have a feeling I'm probably gonna need fire. Most likely is usually when they give abilities here. Yeah. It's oh, I guess I can't just do that. He doesn't believe it's a way of life. So, time to villainize him. Yeah, there's where I use the fire and stuff. Yeah, what a wacky world we live in, huh? Oh, cake! Sweet! Sweet, man. Oh, what the heck? Oh, whatever, I don't need it. I don't need it anyway, it's fine. Bam. Oh, ah! My goodness gracious. Can I just, like... Whatever. Whatever, I guess. I don't need it. It's fine. Maybe I needed that other person's copy ability there. Might well have been the case. Away we go. Whoa. Oh, it bounces. Okay. I gotcha. It all makes sense now. I understand. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Oh, I might want that in a hot second here. I might want to yoink this. And then maybe grab this. Yeah, so we can use that underwater, but we can't use things like fire underwater, I guess. Oh, dang it. Stab. Away we go. Whoa. My goodness gracious. Stabby stab. No! Nose! Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's fine here. Up we go. This is the way we go. Remember one time back in the day you were part of a JoJo community and gave your opinion that Yusuke was your favorite protagonist in the series. And some guy was like, no, it's Jonathan, he's the best. I'm like, well, I'm giving my opinion, not saying a fact. He was like, no, Jonathan's the best. Eventually you gave up on that argument because apparently even as a teenager you were too old for this shit. Yeah, that, yeah. Oh, did I lose my thing? Whoops. Kirby's such a chill series. We can just talk about the most real issues. Yeah. Well, like I was saying earlier this stream, I'm fairly certain when we were playing Kirby in the Forgotten Land, we ended up talking about the energy crisis. Where, again, because it's okay to have different opinions. My opinion on that is we should work towards completely renewable sources of energy, but that would take, like, you know, a long time to work towards to completely replace our infrastructure, stuff like that. So in the meantime, we should use nuclear. Because, you know, one of the biggest sources of energy nowadays is burning coal and natural gas, and the waste from that is going into the atmosphere that we all breathe. So it's not like nuclear is, you know, free of sin. It's not like it's, you know, a completely clean option like, you know, completely green energy. But, you know, when your two options are put the toxic waste in the air that all of us breathe, or put it in secure facilities underground in places that get like a millimeter of rainfall a year, which is really the lesser of two evils here. So, oh, but I'm immune to that with this anyway. So my personal stance to that is like, hey, let's work towards completely green energy. And in the meantime, while we're working at that, let's use nuclear in the meantime. You know, that sounds great to me. I probably need a fire down there. That's my controversial opinion on that. And what we ended up talking about during Kirby in the Forgotten Land was the case. Okay. Ah. Okay. Do I just... Oh, okay. Guess I could have just done that in that case. Okay, away we go. Oh, whatever. I guess you need to get the key there. I don't care that much about the cogs. I assume that's just for completion percentage. But yeah, you know, and Kirby's a simple enough game that, you know, I can just kind of play it without needing to focus too much. Like, I kind of go onto autopilot while I'm playing, as I am right now. It's not one of those games where it's like, all right, I struggle to talk about things here because I need to focus. Like, the biggest case of that is probably Fire Emblem games. You know, like strategy games like Bravely Default 2. But unlike Bravely Default 2, where I need to, like, really think through things. So, oftentimes, our streams of Fire Emblem end up, you know, the maps of that game take me, like, 1 to 3 hours a lot of the time. Of just slowly getting through the map. So at face value, it seems like the kind of game that would be great for discussion, but I just can't focus on discussing things during Fire Emblem playthroughs because I have to just sit there and, like, devote all my brain power to thinking how I'm gonna, like, get through this, you know? I still don't know what I use these for. So even though, like, at face value, it seems like they would be fantastic for discussion, they really aren't because, you know, I just have to concentrate so hard. Whereas, you know, Kirby's like the complete opposite here, where it's like, I really don't have to focus all that much at all. They're very simple levels. I just kind of autopilot my way through. Yeah, I'm not getting that. Now we can just kind of discuss about whatever. And that's what we ended up doing, you know? Because I don't need my full focus on the game. Water Galbaros. Big spins. Move it about. Oh, darn you. I'm just committing. It's fine. So yeah, I would really like to discuss things during Fire Emblem, since it's like, I'm not really saying a whole lot apart from just reacting to the battle that goes on for hours on end otherwise. Oh, so I have to throw that up there first. Oh, I can just Wait, does it go up again? Oh, I see. I see here. But unfortunately, Fire Emblem just takes too much concentration. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Argument that you most commonly see against nuclear energy is that's really dangerous because of shit like Chernobyl and Fukushima. But if you have really strict safety protocol, we should be able to prevent those kind of nuclear disasters. Yeah. Fukushima was a natural disaster and Chernobyl was like human error where they made an actual really bad mistake and not following procedure was the case. And realistically, even with that factored in, if we're going to talk just purely about like the amount of deaths caused by various energy sources, if we count the amount of deaths caused by, you know, other energy sources, even green energy causes more deaths than, you know, nuclear. Typically things like wind turbines, you know, accidents working on that and stuff is the case. Apparently there's like a decent few deaths with like hydro energy as well. I guess when there's like accidents with dams and then you get like flooding and stuff, you know, is the case there. So even if you factor in like the, you know, if you average out like a average amount of deaths per year for these various different energy sources, and, you know, factor in the fact that, you know, there's disasters that occur like this typically once about every 30 years over nuclear energy's lifetime, that, you know, it's still less than, you know, the things that people, you know, commonly acknowledge as green, you know? So there's that.